Welcome everyone in to the virtual Richmond Raceway. We are live on the PGR eSports network for the 204 League's 2025 Irishman's Pot of Gold 150. We are here and we are going 150 laps around this 0.750, 3/4 of a mile track here at Richmond in the late model stocks. We're going to have one fast repair tonight, fixed setups, and two green-white checkers if we need them. I will be your host live here on the PGR eSports Network. I am Michael Triscaro, and tonight I'm joined by my partner in the booth, Matthew Baker. Matthew Baker, good to have you here. You are going to be doubling down here tonight as race control as well. All these guys here in the late model stocks getting some laps in for qualifying here tonight. But you're going to be calling this race up in the tower for RC and on the broadcast. Tell us what you're looking to see here.
I feel like it's one and the same with what we've been watching with super speedway racing. It's gonna be almost flat out. You got to lift a little bit, trail bake just a tad, but these guys are gonna be flat out this whole time. 18 late model stocks taking the track here at Richmond. It's one of my favorite racetracks to race in the Xfinity series and the Truck series as well. So it should be no different here. These cars have a lot of grip. They're gonna be loose in though. I got to get in the practice session, test it out a little bit. It's a great setup they got under them, and Adam Vinny was fast in practice, fast in qualifying. He's sitting on the provisional pole right now with about 2 minutes remaining here.
Yes, he is. It is a 65-degree ambient temp out here, 2-mile-an-hour wind and clear. We will be racing. It looks like underneath the lights here at Richmond Raceway. Track temperature only 65, so cool track temp here tonight. Danny Barnes already in the chat, ready to go and ready to watch this late model stock race here tonight. Looking forward to calling this. This will be our first, at least my first, calling a late model event. And Adam Vinny, as Baker alluded to, is on that provisional pole. Right here you see Kevin Spaulding. Kevin Spaulding turning some laps here in the 31 machine. So he is getting his qualifying laps set here. And looks like about a 28-ish driver field. And when we do get the grid, we will go through that starting lineup here tonight. We'll get that ticker up for you so you can see everybody here and their qualifying times. Vinny right now the provisional pole, Rogers second, Point third, Camba fourth, and Garza in fifth. So keep in mind this is a new series for us. We'll be getting to learn some of these names and these drivers as we go throughout the night. We'll go through our sponsorships as well. You see one in the top right corner, I believe that's TH Designs there with the star logo. And this is the 204 League. So thank you guys for having us come out here tonight, call this race. As we are about set to wrap up qualifying, here is Tyler Smith. And you see him slipping and sliding right there out of the exit of turn number 2 in that 25. And he is, all he can handle there, nearly spinning out there in between turns 3 and 4 as he comes to the start-finish line for his lap. So all these guys here looks like it's a little slick out there already for some of these guys, even though it's cool. These guys are definitely on that wheel here early and often as we get set to grid here. Baker, like I said, will be on race control, but we'll have both of us up in the booth during green flag race, and it looks like they will be gridding. So we're going to get down to our grid and bring up that starting grid for you guys right here. It'll be Adam Vinny tonight. He will start on the pole outside front row. AJ Rogers. Steve Point will start third. Ryan Camba fourth here tonight. And rounding out your top 5 will be Connor Smith. Marcus De Garza will start in 7th. Henry Hamby 8th. Nolan Perry in 9th. Rounding out the top 10 tonight, Dakota Dennis.
In 11th place, you've got Mike Forster, Tyler Smith in the 12, Colin Penn in the 13th spot, Hugh Escobar in the 14th spot, Michael Everett in the 15th spot, Austin Holder in the 16th spot. Starting in the 17th spot is Lance Wade, and rounding out your 18-car field is Brandon Williams.
Yeah, an 18-car field here tonight. Matthew Baker up here with me. That is just going to be showing up there on the scoring. Wasn't an admin here to get in, not on that board. So we'll skip him. It is an 18-car field here tonight as we get close to the green flag here, as all the cars going to be gridding here We'll bring you down to the grid right here. There's the starting grid. You'll see it one more time. It'll be your pole sitter here tonight, Adam Vinny, right there in the 11 car here on the bottom of the racetrack. We will clear that up and out of our way. And we are getting set here. All these cars getting ready to go 150 lap short track racing action under the lights here at Richmond Raceway. Baker's mom here in the chat, Jeremy Osborne as well. Good to see some guys that coming over from the PGR eSports side, mainly the Super Speedway crew over here, trying to watch us do something a little bit different. And I'm excited to watch some different style of racing here tonight, and hopefully these guys can put on a good show. And we'll see. They're just cranking them up right now. You see the 24 machine of Stephen Point in that Bo Jangles car. They're starting to roll. Here they go. So it looks like, I believe, well, the pit car lights are off, so it looks like we might be going green this time by.
Yeah, it's a bigger track for these short cars. Should be a 1 to green signal. Not many cars in the field, not going to need to extend the grid, but I was watching Vinny Imperatus. He was one of the faster ones in 10 lap and 20 lap speeds, and that's going to be the key, is who can manage the long run. That's the name of the game with late model stocks, is how good can you conserve that left rear and that right rear? How can you keep those rear tires on you? Because these cars haul, and they'll haul the mail all day long. It's just, where will the tire fall off go? And speaking of tire sets, we only have 2 extra sets here, so we will go 1 more pace lap around. But you got 1 set on the car, and you got 2 sets in the pits. So you got to think about 150 laps. You're not going to be able to make it, I think, on fuel. It's close, but let me double check on that. But excited to watch some of these new paint schemes and new people come out and run this race. And if you're in the chat watching one of your favorite drivers, go ahead, hit that subscribe button on the PGR eSports YouTube. We would really greatly appreciate it. Trying to get to 1,000 so we can open up some more content for you guys.
Yeah, already 51 views, and it looks like it's going to be a highly viewed race here tonight. The pace car lights are off. Should be dipping down here to pit lane in just a second. We'll get that starter cam up as we get ready to go. Green flag racing here at Richmond Raceway. Here they come. Outside of turn number 4, the green flag ready to wave. Here at Richmond Raceway, we are underway. Green flag. Lap number 1 in the books, and it's Adam Vinny right now pacing the field here to start the night. The number 17 of AJ Rogers is going to be looking to chase him down. So had one car get up and into the wall coming outside of turn number 4 there on lap 1, but so far so good here at Richmond. We have an 18-car field here tonight. Looks like a couple guys for some reason showing as out. Not sure exactly why. Devin Ray in the chat right now as well. Baker's grandma too. So everyone's getting involved here tonight, watching us do something a little bit different. And right now it's that 11 machine out front here at Richmond early.
Yeah, Adam Vinny setting the pace early, putting down some good lap times right around the 22.8 ranges. So about half a second is what I was expecting for them to be off on race pace, trying to conserve those tires and keep the rears on them. It's about 120 laps on the fuel gauge for these cars, so they are going to have to make a stop. I didn't see competition caution for this race, so if you go green here, you have to really think about your fuel strategy, because these cars take a while to fuel up. So something to think about, and something to think about with your tires as well. It's going to be hard to keep your tires under you for 150 laps here. If they keep this pace off, I would guess that the pace fall off is going to fall off about 3/10, 4/10 every 20 laps, maybe even a little bit more, because then he's starting to pick up the pace here in these last 2 laps. You got the rears under him, those cold tires in the beginning parts of the lap. That just it's tough to have the car under you, and everyone's single filed out here, just pacing, trying to get used to where people's braking points are, where people lift points are at. in this car and try and get some more green flag racing under us.
Yeah, 13 cars right now, all running laps in the 22-second bracket, with your leader right now running about a 22.53. He's really not the fastest man on the track if you go look through that scoring timeline, but we'll see if he can get chased down here by that 17 machine. See the first sponsor of the night here in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, the No Coast Customs. So shout out to them, helping come on board here to sponsor the 204 League here in 2025. This is the Irishman's Pot of Gold 150 from Richmond. Your top five right now, Adam, Vinny, right behind him. That is A.J. Rogers. They're in the 17 machine. Right now in third place, getting chased down right now by the 24 is the 52 of Connor Smith. And Steve Point in that Bojangles Camaro, he is in fourth. Ryan Camba right behind them, waiting for them to make a mistake. He is in the 204 machine here tonight in that blue and white. Nolan Perry, he is in sixth in the 98 machine. And right now in seventh, Tyler Smith in the 25. In eighth, it's Henry Hamby. And ninth, Mike Forstner right there, I believe, running in the 4 machine. Rounding out your current top 10, that's going to be Marcus De La Garza in that Taco Bell 99. That's currently your top 10. And right now, there is no battle there in the lead. Right now, Adam Binney checking out from the field.
Yeah, Stephen Point, he's the only one who's got a little bit of blinking going on from A.J. Rogers. Stephen Point's the only one running a little bit different of a line than what the third-place car of Connor Smith is doing. You can see he's getting that clean air on the nose, diving off in the corner a little bit early, able to rotate the car good through center of the corner, but it gives a good exit to Connor Smith, except for that corner right there. Connor Smith taking it a little bit easy, but everyone else not really trying to get around each other. They're just trying to ride around, save their tires, and get ready for this long haul here on this green flag run. But Stephen Point definitely has a faster car. I think he's got a little bit faster pace than Connor Smith right now. As you see, looks like the 75 of Austin Householder is going to pull down into the pit lane. Didn't look like I saw what happened to him. We'll go back and take a look here. Looks like he may have gotten to the he got into the turn 2 wall. Looks like really got the right front. They do have a fast repair here, so you'll be able to get that fast repair, come right back out.
Yeah, right now he's putting on right side Hoosier tires in pit stall number 16 right now. We'll see if he can get back on the racetrack. Right now, there's not too many battles going on. Looks like right now Ryan Camba still right there in the 5th position, just trying to stalk down 3rd and 4th of Smith and Point. A little bit farther on back, here is a race right here for the 8th position between Henry Hamby and Mike Forstner. So some more action here back in the middle of this pack, but so far so clean. All these drivers doing a good job. At a little bit smaller field here and easier to navigate right now, but as these tires will eventually fall off, you'll see probably, some a little bit better side-by-side racing. Right there, it looked like the 98 machine into the wall just a little bit there, and you see he's got some front right damage a little bit farther back. I believe that's going to be Nolan Perry. Yep, Nolan Perry, you can see the damage to his right side of his late model stock right there, and a little bit farther back, almost an incident right there between Colin Penn and Dakota Dennis. So those two racing really hard side by side right now outside of turn number 4 as they cross the start finish line. Beautiful paint scheme there for the 19. That Traveler whiskey scheme we saw, it ran in the Daytona 500 this past year. Back into the wall again, Colin Penn. So he's got a handful right now in that 16 machine.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to come to pit road for that right front damage that he took. It's it's short track racing, but in this car, the way the aero works in this car, it's just so important. And you take a little bit of right front damage, it's going to go a long way. So try and get down, either get that fast repair or, just try and fix the damage, get back out there. There's a 75 going to go another lap down here as Henry Hamby is going to pass him. Next will be Mike Forrester. But Vinny doing a good job, not really stretching the lead away from A.J. Rogers. Stephen Point was able to get around Connor Smith. I think Connor Smith saving more tire than than Steve Point at this time, but Adam Vinny running a really consistent pace here. Lap range is running around the 22.5s. Not much fall off, really. I'm kind of eating my words here. It looks like it's about a tenth of a fall off every 15 laps, so not as much fall off as we were expecting. It is a really, really hard tire, and it's a cool night, so the tires are going to stay under him. And it's a great setup. Driving the setup was very, very stable once you got past the cold tires, so these guys should be able to hold on to the cars pretty easy.
Right now, in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, another sponsor here tonight in the Pot of Gold 150. It's Crazy T's Auto LLP. The deals are hotter in Potter. So right now, checking out still is the 11, but I'll tell you what, A.J. Rogers still in his tracks and trying to chase down Vinny here. You can see them both in your screen and running similar laps right now. Vinny right there, 22.6, and Rogers a 22.58. So not much separating first and second right now, and we'll see if the caution could bring them closer together in this race, or we'll see as we go farther and farther, and these tires do seem to wear out a little bit more, if that 17 machine has saved a little bit more and catch the 11 here tonight, who was the class of practice here earlier. Stephen Point, now he has worked himself all the way up to third place in that Bojangles 24. So right now he is pretty fast as well with 22.57 as his last lap. So he is faster than the leader at the moment. Here is Connor Smith. I'll tell you what, his last lap faster than all of them right now here in the 52 machine. So this top five really fast right now, and we'll see how this is going to shape up as we get deeper into this run. Take a little bit farther back. Here's Ryan Kamba too. He is rounding out your top five, and he's using that middle groove right now here at Richmond, right about on that hatch. Going to come up here to the start-finish line all the way to the wall. He's going to dive down here a little bit. Nope, he's going to stay up at the wall. Come on down here in the middle of the corner. Hit that yellow line and drift right back up here on the backstretch at Richmond. There's a bit 3/4 of a mile track here, a short track underneath the lights. Beautiful views here at Richmond Raceway. Behind him, Tyler Smith coming off turn number 4 right now in the 25. Tyler Smith, that is, run about a 22.64 or 22.73 right there. So everybody pretty close. Everybody pretty tight right now. There's only a few guys in the field, 15th through 17th, running in the 23s. So all these guys, we'll see what happens too if there's any lap traffic. Not, like I said, not too big of a field here tonight, but nonetheless, we do have A.J. Rogers still stalking the leader of Vinny.
And a couple battles towards the back half of the field. Marcus De La Garza battling with Colin Penn right now. Still trying to find that clean air towards the bottom. Mike Forster right ahead of them. That's a good little group right there. As you see the 47 of Henry Hamby, he's looking to get around Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith's starting to fall off the pace just a little bit more. But Henry Hamby takes it up to the second groove, going to try and dive down, get a good exit, but the 25 gets a better exit there out of turn 2, entering turn 3. Still looking for a little bit of clean air, but good battles throughout the top 10 from 5th to about 10th. 5th kind of checked out a little bit more, and that is Ryan Kamba. Connor Smith, I think this is going to be one of the faster cars. If he can keep his right side on him, he's definitely pacing himself a lot more. His steep point, once he got around Connor Smith, began to back his pace off. He was running down A.J. Rogers, and then he kind of stalled out. Looks like he may have just kind of backed it off a little bit to try and cool down those tires. But Adam Vinny still running consistent 22.5s, about in the 22.6 range now. So we're right about that 10th fall off. 29 laps in here to the run, coming to 30 laps here on this first run. But the field's starting to spread out a little bit, but still that battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th, very good. Tyler Smith still holding off Henry Hamby, who's trying to look for a way around, keeps diming it off the corner. It's going to burn that right rear up.
Yes, it is. This part of the race, as we approach the first third of this race, brought to you by Port Charlotte Lawn Care LLC. Give them a call today at 941-479-0101. As you see Tyler Smith battling on the racetrack with Henry Hamby. And now you get to see that track map and just how spread out all these cars are right now. The 11 in the green there is going to be just passing the start-finish line, 17 behind them. Those are your leaders. So right here, the 25, about a quarter of a lap back here. Now coming out of the exit of turn number 4. So you see the 11. It's going to get a little bit of lap traffic here on the backstretch. The 96 machine, Brandon Williams on the track. It actually looks like he's going to come down pit lane. So the 17's going to go around him. Here is Nolan Perry in the 95. And it looks like he's going to be exiting turn number 2. So I believe it's the 75 machine of Austin Householder. That'll be the next lap car for your leader of Adam Vinny. So still really no trouble ahead for Vinny as most of the pack is racing here on the backstretch right now. You see a fight here between Colin Penn. He's going to dive. Ooh, he's going to think better of it. He looked like he was going to try to get underneath the 4 machine there of Forster. Oh, and he turns him. And caution out on the racetrack for the first time tonight. We'll lose Baker to race control for just a second. But, man, right when we went to that action there, it was the 16 of Colin Penn. And it was Forstner in the caution right there in the yellow flag out for the first time tonight. We'll take you back to that replay. And, wow, that was the first one of the night. It's going to come just before we get to the third of this race being over. It's lap 36. And when we get Baker back in here, we'll definitely try to find out if there was a penalty assessed there. Here is the drivers involved. And right there, Colin Penn in the 16 is going to turn the 4 car of Mike Forstner right out of the turn. And we'll back that one up and try to give you a view of right behind them here. It looked like this is going to be coming out here. This is where we thought he was going to make the move originally. We'll slow it down. Here's Colin Penn. It looked like he was going to dive underneath the 4 here. The 4 is going to go up the racetrack. 16 is going to back out of it just a little bit. And he's going to get right back up to the rear of the 4 coming off the turn. And, yeah, the 4 was just a little slow there. Back on the throttle. The 16's going to practically square push him here. But it's going to lift that rear end up. I mean, that's just how these cars are. You see these late models sit up a little bit higher in that back. I mean, square push nonetheless. That one's probably going to go on the 16. We'll get final word when Matthew Baker returns from race control duties. But the first caution of the night is out here on the PGR eSports Network. A big group watching us here tonight. Appreciate everybody joining us here in the chat. And branching off to something a little bit different. And we've done this a couple times, and we really like it. It's nice to get away from the super speedway community here and there and check out something new. And I'm hoping all our viewers, not just from PGR eSports, but from the 204 League, are enjoying this one here tonight. We'll take a peek one more time at the cockpit view of Colin Penn. In real time here.
It's just going to be a harmless spin caused by Colin Penn. I guess in the back of my Forester, we were watching that battle a little bit earlier. They were both taking different lines, and Penn just had to run out of the corner. And it's just a little bit too early to be on the back bumper of someone like that. And it's with the sloped nose and the raised rear, it's very easy to pick up the car in front of you, get them turned around, especially at Richmond, where you have banking all the way through the front stretch. So it's a tough spot to get into someone.
Absolutely. Well, caution flag number 1 of the night. Otherwise, a pretty clean race here to start. Now, this is going to be interesting. The 11 here and the 17 going to start side by side. We've now brought the field together, and 2 guys that were very fast here in the first run, the 24 of Steve Point and the 52 especially of Connor Spitz. So this will definitely tell us a lot more information here on how good these race cars are, as the pace car is going to dip down the pit road once again. We're going to get to the Geico restart zone. Green flag back into there here at Richmond.
And a good start by Adam Vinny there, able to clear himself from the top side. And you see Steve Point now going to draw point on that second position, passing AJ Rogers. Connor Smith, we'll see what he can do after saving his tires a little bit. I think AJ Rogers is going to have a good hot rod under him to see how he can do in dirty air with everyone closed up right here, but too wide towards the back here with Forrester, Penn, and Kevin Spaulding.
Yeah, you see Point here. You see his dashboard, 100 some miles an hour here into the corner at Richmond. Here's his get off the turn, and he's going to hit a top speed here at the end of straightaway number 1 of 132 miles an hour before he gets back off the throttle here and on to the backstretch. So really not even going underneath 100 miles an hour here down the backstretch at Richmond. Probably not going to hit, nope, just upper 120s right there. So good idea of how fast these late model stocks are getting around Richmond Raceway here tonight as the 24 inches closer and closer to the back bumper of Vinny here tonight. AJ Rogers, the 17, he was your second place car all night until that caution has flown, and that 24 Stephen Point almost to the point here at Richmond. He's getting closer and closer. The guy we were talking about, we might be the fastest car on the track, the 52 of Smith, right now being scored in that 4th position, and the battle for the lead is on here at Richmond.
He's just trying to get that clean air again. He doesn't want to make the same mistake that Penn did there earlier in the run. It's one into the wall on the outside to look like big wreck. Huge wreck towards the back of the field.
Here at Richmond, caution number 2 of the night. Escobar involved, Williams, Householder, all involved in this yellow, and must have been near the back of this pack. We'll get to the replay here in just a second. Baker will go back to race control duties. John Ward in the chat. Good to see John Ward actually posted this race. Was hoping John Ward would be one of the drivers that crossed over from our community to race in this tonight, but maybe this will lead to something down the road. We'd love to see some of the drivers from PGR eSports and some of the money racing community and super speedways hop over here into the late model stock. So far, a really good race here. Second caution of the night. You see all these guys coming down pit road for service. Ryan Camba, he's going to stay on the racetrack, as is Colin Penn. Here comes Vinny. He's been leading from the start. So 46 laps led. He's going to come into his box here. Number 1 pit stall. And he's gotten challenged here from the 24 car of Stephen Point. You see him right there, taking right side Hoosier tires, Sunoco Racing fuel. And they're going to jack up the left sides as well and put some Hoosier tires on the left side. As you see, race off pit road is on, and it's the 24 of Steve Point finally gets to the lead of this race. And man,
not so fast though. We've got a couple people that have stayed out here. Colin Penn, Ryan Kamba, and Dakota Dennis have all stayed out on the racetrack. Hugh Escobar comes in, gets his fast repair. He is still going to be 1 lap down scored after getting to the outside wall. But we still have 3 cars who stayed out here on the racing surface.
Yeah, we're just trying to go back and find this wreck and try to get the replay of this. Ooh, you see right there, hard into the walls, the Reese's car in the 72. And we'll see them fan out to avoid that. See some damage to the race car behind. But the 72 hard into the wall. That's Hugh Escobar. And right here is where we get that wreck. The 96 just runs right into the back. 4 runs into the back of the 96. And that brings out your second caution here tonight. Definitely could have probably been avoidable. You see right there one more time. We'll get this from behind if we can. 72 just at the wall. He has damage. He is slow. You'll see these cars kind of come in. The 31's going to avoid it. The 96 not going to follow. Just jack the back end of this Reese's car up. 4 isn't it as well. So damage to a car that was pretty strong here. Mike Forstner. The 75 looks like some damage for the 75 as well of Householder. As we go back live here, real time, pace car lights are out. We'll restart for the 3rd time here tonight, as Baker alluded to. Ryan Camba, Colin Penn, Dakota Dennis. Those guys, I believe, all staying out. And we will go back green here at Richmond. Green flag in the air for the 3rd time tonight as Camba gets a good jump start here on Penn. As he's going to cross up to the top of the racetrack. They're going to swoop down here into turn number 1, 2x2 in the middle of the racetrack. And now it's race on for the number 11 and the 24. It's the first time they're facing a little adversity with some cars ahead of them. as we'll see if those guys
Oh, one turns around, caution out. Big hit.
Big hit again. Caution out for the third time. And cautions now breeding cautions here at the third point of this race. 50 laps in of 150. And some more damage here for the 25 of Tyler Smith. And we'll go back here and slow this one down. So third caution of the night. I believe he is going to self-spin here. We'll take a peek. 47 in tow behind. That is Henry Hamby behind the 25. Well, caution is already out here. So let's go back a little bit farther. Oh, I believe the wreck's going to actually be with the 16. My apologies. The 16 car here. A little bit farther on back.
It's on the 25. 25 self-spins in front of the 98-47. 16 gets into the 25 after he self-spins.
Yeah, so this must be the last caution here. So we'll run this back to the right replay here and make sure everybody gets to see here what transpired to bring out the third caution of the night. And there's the 25 on the bottom of your screen. 3 wide here at Richmond. And the 25 is going to go up the racetrack here just a little bit. You can see the flames coming out of the pipes, really digging, turning. That wheel is the 25. Is going to spin that late model stock around. And, yeah, 3 wide here and nowhere to go for the middle car there of 47. And that'll bring out your third. Ooh, the 18. Lots of damage as well to the 18 machine. At John Deere Chevrolet of Michael Everett. And you can just see a lot of damage here to the right fronts of a lot of these race cars here tonight. As we are back pacing, it'll be Ryan Kamba, your race leader still. So looking to play some strategy here tonight with Colin Penn, as those two were the ones in the big benefactors of the last caution. While we have a moment, let's thank TH Designs as well, another sponsor here in the 204 League. This is the Irishman's Pot of Gold 150 here on St. Patrick's Day. Thank you all for joining us here tonight. We are 1/3 of today's race length. 3 cautions so far, really clean in the early going. Couple cautions here more recently, and we'll see if we can get back to some green flag racing. As the pace car lights are out, they're going to dip back down to pit road once again here. We're going to scream off of turn number 4 into the Geico restart zone. Green flag back into there here at Richmond.
Big stack up there on the bottom. They're going to go 3 wide again. That is the Taco Bell car. And Mike Forrestner with Dakota Dennis on the outside. They'll sort it out, but back to 3 wide yet again. They'll sort it out, back to 2 wide. But it was a big stack up on the restart. You see that the cold tires.
The 99 spun into the infield grass, hits the inside wall. Caution is not out. And a big wreck there for Marcus Del Garza. In that 99, we caught it right away as it happened. He's back on the racetrack in that Taco Bell machine. And tell you what, that 99's got some heavy damage. We'll see if he can get down to pit lane here.
Looks like he may stay out on the racetrack. His right front, or his left front is pretty killed, but able to keep it going straight for now. No debris on the track, no real harm to anyone else being on the track, so an unfortunate situation there for Marcus De La Garza, but going to single file out here, maybe get some green flag racing in, and he can hope for a caution towards the back half to try and get him back into this.
Yeah, sure will. I'll tell you what, that Taco Bell scheme, they eat Taco Bell, it's going to be just the same when you go for a spin like that. I'll tell you that right now. That was a scary ride there for him. And hopefully everything is okay. Back on the racetrack and back up front here in this field. It's Colin Penn doing a great job with Ryan Camba. Their gamble paying off right now. And the two guys that have been fast all night, here they are still racing hard. It's the 11 of Vinny and the 24 of Point. Right behind them, Connor Smith in the 52. So we'll see as we get deeper into this run how this 11 and 24 will try to make their way around Penn and Camba. And already on the back bumper of Camba here is the 11, looking to make a move here in turn number 3. Nothing doing there as we come off turn number 4. Going to go high is the 11. And Camba trying to make a move on the leader right now. They know those two guys a little bit faster behind them.
The thing is, Colin Penn is really wearing out this right rear. You can watch Adam Vinny. His nose is pretty pointed off the corner, going straight at the wall. Whereas Colin Penn and Ryan Camba, they're hanging their right rears out, and they're almost sideways coming out of the corner. You can see them yawed out. It's okay to lean on the right rears here, but once you're on a tire disadvantage, you need to sit there, try and conserve them, try and keep that dirty air on the car behind you that's on that fresher tire. As you see Ryan Camba close into the back bumper of Colin Penn. The thing is, these two don't want to get side by side. Open up the door for Vinny to maybe go 3 wide. Vinny looking to the inside of Ryan Camba. He will think better of it. Cups back up in line. Steep point. He's going to follow wherever Vinny goes. So it's going to be just playing patience, and Vinny's doing a great job of that in the number 11.
Yeah, they sure are. Great shot right here, high above the speedway in the chopper cam. And it's a 4-horse race here in the front. The 11's going to dive all the way to the yellow line underneath the 204. The 11 going for the pass here in the front stretch, side by side with the 204 in turn number 1. He's got the speed. He is clear. The 11 now, can he get the drive off? He does. He's going to clear up in front of the 204, and that's going to bring the 24 in as well. 204 of Camba right now, struggling just a little bit there on that backstretch, and the 24 and the 11 right now are second and third, and they're going to look to chase down Penn. And man, what a pass there by the 11 and the 24. 64 laps in of 150 here, and the Irishman's pot of gold 150. John Ward said the 25 ain't playing. The 25 a little bit farther back, that is Tyler Smith in the 72. See him right here racing with the 25 of, or actually, sorry, the 72 of Hugh Escobar and the 25 of Tyler Smith. They're racing pretty hard here. A little bit farther back for positions 10 and 11, trying to get that top 10. 75 underneath the 72 here. They will have that position. 72 is going to bounce off the wall. I'll tell you what, these guys racing really hard. Glad John pointed that one out. So a lot of these guys driving hard, mid-pack on back. As we go back up to the front of this pack, Adam Binney starting to get smaller and smaller in that rear view mirror of the 16 of Penn. Doing a great job of getting in these corners and getting that drive off as the 16 gets closer and closer to the back to the lead here. But a great job nonetheless here by Penn to hold these guys off with that pit strategy, as we'll see how that's going to play out as we get later and later into this race.
Well, it doesn't need to happen later. It's happening right now. You can see it each time. He's gaining about half a tenth each lap. And you can see just how pointed the nose is of that 11 car, and Adam Vinny and Colin Penn just completely sideways, driving the wheels off it. Looks cool, but it's not going to be good in the long run. See, Vinny gets a great exit with Point right alongside him, just about a tenth off, 2/10 off. But there's the name of the game again, is patience. It's going to be a little bit harder for a car to get around. The 204 was a little bit more gracious, was able to let them by with ease, got into the wall just a little bit, but he battled just for a little bit. As soon as Vinny showed the nose, he gave that respect. I don't know if the respect's going to be given right back. Colin Penn already has one caution under his belt, and I know he's not looking to get another one. Adam Vinny, he's going to drive up to the back bumper here out of turn 4, have a good run to him. It'll even out as they come to lap number 70, approaching lap 71 of 150. So closing in on the halfway mark here.
Yeah, closing in on that halfway mark. And action picking up here for the lead of this race here on St. Patrick's Day. And the pot of gold 150. And sure is going to be very exciting to see this race for the lead right now between the 16 and the 11. John Ward in the chat thinks that 24 is saving just a little bit, and he could be being that he is in third right now and watching these guys do battle ahead of him. If that 24 can save just a little bit more, he'll have something for the 11 and 16. Farther on back, it's Ryan Campbell. We saw him give up that second spot, struggling just a bit, as right now A.J. Rogers in the 17 looking to track him down for that fourth position. That is currently your top 5. Connor Smith right now a little bit farther back in the 52. We thought he'd have something for these guys, but right now fading just a little bit in the 6th position. Nolan Perry behind him in the 98 machine. See him right there in the Wade Logging Chevrolet. Henry Hamby in 8th, Ryan right by himself. Doing a good job here, staying in the top 10. Michael Everett doing battle in the 18 machine right now. It's a lap car going around him, and Dakota, he is in 10th, so the 18 right now. Rounding out your top 10 as we go back up front, Colin Penn, your leader here, lap number 74 as we head down the backstretch here at Richmond Raceway. And back to some green flag racing. That is a sight to see here. And some good racing going on here. 16's really holding his own. Some fast lap times right now. His last lap speed is 22.48. And that second place car, Vinny, at 22.56. Back to a 22.53 of point. His fastest man on that racetrack is your leader. Colin Penn's got some clean air. Doing a really good job of wheeling that 16 machine around.
Yeah, I think Point is starting to really think about where the tires are going to even out and know that the cliff isn't going to fall off much with the 16 and Penn. So I think Vinny is doing a great job saving, but I think he's over-saving. I think the 24 is realizing it now. Knows if he can pounce in front of the 11 here, he can make his way up, try and pressure the 16 into a mistake to get off that right rear. The 24 closes right up to the back bumper of the 11 out of turn 4, coming down the front stretch, entering turn 1 here. He's the closest he's been to him all night, trying to really pressure him here on exit. He's got a great turn on the car, but he's putting a lot of dirty air. You can see that dirty air tighten up the car, but gets the clean air to the nose on the bottom, able to get that rotation that he wants in the rear tires. Doesn't stay with him as much as he wanted to that time, but Vinny doing a great job holding off the 24, who's putting a lot of pressure on.
Yeah, and you can see the 24 sawing on that wheel here in the cockpit. Some great camera work here by our camera crew to catch all these live actions. This car carrying a great onboard here of all this action right behind Vinny here in second. Right now, Colin Penn, just that clean air. You see his racing line right here. He's going to get a little loose right there on entry. He's going to get down to the yellow line and drift back up to the top here at Richmond. Down the backstretch here, full house packed underneath the lights. Some short track racing action here. Always one of the coolest racetracks around here, especially at night. So some good scenes here at Richmond. We'll take you high a bump in the Goodyear blimp and the drone footage here tonight. And lap number 80 of 150, 20 laps away from the 2/3 mark of this race. And then we'll have to start thinking about that checkered flag here tonight. But right now, all Penn as he leads. Vinny, Point, Campbell, and Rogers as your current top 5.
Yeah, Mike Forstner battling back there with Kevin Spaulding. Spaulding backed off to the top of the racetrack, going to give way to the lap car of Brandon Williams in the 96. And the 75 Austin Householder rounding out that back part of the field. But a little bit further back, you got Marcus De La Garza, who's only 1 lap down, but Colin Penn is quickly approaching him now. Colin Penn, as I say, that gets up into the outside wall out of turn 2, so you see that right rear starting to fade, and once you start to drive off that right rear, you really start to push it towards the right front, and that's where the tight starts to come in on the corner exit. He's loose in, you can see it, fighting the wheel. As he comes through the center of the corner, you're going to watch the exit here. He's going to come up all the way to the wall. He's fighting and sawing, and that's just going to pull Adam Vinny right back in. I think you're about to see the cliff start to fall off here for Colin Penn. He's been driving off the right rear as hard as he possibly can for the past, I don't know, let's look at this last lap run here. He's about almost a 30-lap run, or about 26 laps in to this run. You're going to start to see this car start to fall off, and he even further back from that, he didn't take tires on that lap 50 stops, so I think he took tires around the lap 45, I believe. So he's got about 11 lap older tires than these guys up here, so you're going to see a little bit different strategy from him. Vinny is able to diamond the corner off well. The 24 is starting to fall off pace a little bit. That pressure probably heated up those rear tires for the 24 and Stephen Point, and started to make him fade just a little bit. But I you got to give credit where credit's due. Colin Penn doing a great job up front here in clean air.
Yes, he is. Colin Penn doing a great job, and some better shots right here of that from the front of his race car. You can see into his windshield as he's sawing on that wheel as Adam Vinny trying to get closer and closer to the 16 here. 87 laps in of 150. Adam Vinny from Milwaukee, see there on the bottom of your screen. And ooh, wow, Colin Penn's going to scrape the wall there. And right side, you see some sparks fly. That's going to open up the door for sure for the 11. It's going to be a much faster lap here from Vinny, and we'll try to see exactly what that was. Yeah, definitely a faster lap here from Vinny. So a little bit of trouble there on the backstretch for your race leader, Penn. He's going to go underneath the lap car here of the 99 machine of Della Garza. Both of them underneath the 99.
Now that's going to pull the 11 right back into the mixture. You saw Colin Penn, he got to De La Garza in a really, really awkward spot there. He called him to the inside, but Penn just doesn't have the drive off because he's got older tires, and he's been leaning on that right rear. Wasn't able to get the exit that he wanted. Closes the 11 back up to the back bumper. How can this 11 do in dirty air? Can he get the clean air to the nose on exit? You see it out of 4 there. He's closing in just a little bit. Point able to navigate through the traffic to get back up into clean air to try and track down the 11 again. The 11 takes a wide entrance there. He's going to try and drive it off the corner. You see big time loose from Colin Penn out of turn 2. I think Penn is just searching for something that's not there. These tires just aren't going to hold on much longer.
Yeah, they're sure not. And this is what we were waiting for, to see if we got a long green flag run, which we do right now, how this race would come to the 11 of Vinny. And right now, he is stalking the 16 lap by lap here at Richmond. And 24 as well. He's got to licking his chops. And if he saved anything for these guys, we'll see if he can use it and get up to the 11. But right now, a little bit of a gap between the 11 and the 24 machine. But we'll see if he can close that gap once they start racing. And if they get side by side, that'll obviously help the 24 car of Point. Just going through the field just a little bit. The 19, Lance Wade, I believe, did not turn a lap here tonight. Brandon Williams is going to be your 17th place car. So 17 cars started the race. Householder back in 16th position. Della Garza, definitely we've seen the problems and issues he's had here tonight in the 99, back in 15th. Kevin Spalding in the 31, currently running in 14th position. Big time right front damage for him. Mike Forstner, issues as well this race in 13th. Michael Everett in the John Deere 18 in 12th. Hugh Escobar in 11th right now. And in 10th, Tyler Smith in the 25.
We got a good little battle going on for that 6th place in Connor Smith and Nolan Perry. Nolan Perry got to the back bumper of the 52. The 52 have been all over the place for the past couple of laps, and now you're able to see that 98 dive towards the inside, trying to get all the way to the inside of the 52, but can't get there this time. Touches the wall just a little bit. You're going to have a little bit wider of an entrance here. But Colin Penn up front. There's a battle for the lead. Adam Vinny, he's going to take it to the inside. Door banging. Is the 24 going to try and follow along? Big time outside wall hit. 24 looking 3 wide. Going to be 3 wide coming into 3 here. Will Penn hold the outside? I don't know if this is going to work on corner exit. Penn's going to have to give here. He doesn't. Gives a shot to Adam Vinny. He lifts out of the throttle now, thinks a little bit better of it. Didn't want to do the same thing he did to cause the last caution. But now, side by side, Steve Point, he took advantage of it. off of the contact from Colin Penn on the outside wall down into Adam Vinny, but Vinny trying to shut the door. He does on the 24. Steve Point looking for the point. It gets shut off. He breaks a pencil of that point right off, and Adam Vinny back to the lead.
Yeah, this is a great race here. 3 wide at Richmond. And, man, that wasn't going to work. Luckily, these guys all kept those 4 Hoosier tires glued to the racetrack. The 16 might have used them up a little bit, Baker, fading just a little bit here in the 3rd position. The battle really on right now for the lead between the 11 and the 24. The 16 scraping the wall again right there. Still holding some good lap times right now, but it's really going to be a race between this 11 and 24 as we get to lap number 100. We're going to start the 3rd part of this race and take you all the way to the checkers here on the PGR eSports Network. We want to thank another sponsor here tonight, Lucky Dog Designs, established here in 2025. So thank you to Lucky Dog Designs and all of the sponsors here on board for the Irishman's Pot of Gold 150. As we are now 50 laps away from one of these cars going to victory lane tonight. And my bet would be on the 11 or the 24, but we've seen things happen on the racetrack before and some wild things happen, so you just never know, and that's when you want to stick around for the end of this one. The 4 coming in to the vicinity here, lap traffic for the 11. He's going to navigate that real easily as we get set here to take you all the way to the finish of this race.
Yeah, the 24 starting to relax just a little bit. Steve gets a good entrance to the corner there. I think he's just trying to find clean air for that left front tire. But Adam Vinny doing a great job defending. But this lap traffic going to become a factor here. They've got 2 up the road, and that is Brandon Williams and Austin Householder running similar times and running 2 different grooves. So it's going to be difficult for both of them to navigate as they try and stay on a lucky dog position, or at least to try to stop from going more than 1 lap down. Is, oh man, Brandon Williams into the outside wall hard. Going to go down to the inside. That's going to take away one of the lap cars. And now Austin Householder going to be the only lap car in front of your leaders at this time. 24 keeping great pace with Adam Vinny. But like he said, the 16 starting to fade a little bit with those tires. AJ Rogers starting to track him back down. And then you have Ryan Campbell, who's done a great job. He was also on that tire strategy, but he hasn't really lost much wholesale position, staying in the top 5. A great call for him.
Yeah, Campbell doing an excellent job in that 204, 5th position for him. Right behind him, it's not the 99. 99 is a lap or 2 down. It's going to be the 52 of Connor Smith showing in that 6th position. Nolan Perry just behind him, trying to track him down, doing an excellent job here in the 98. Henry Hamby coming off turn number 2 there in the 47. Man, riding real close to that wall. Dives down here into turns number 3. Henry Hamby being scored in 8th here tonight. Tyler Smith doing battle right now. There's a battle on the racetrack between the 25 and the 19, as well as the 72. So the battle's on for 9th, 10th, and 11th. These cars not separated by much right now, so we'll see who comes out on top in that. Ooh, wow, that's Dakota Dennis, I believe, hard into the outside wall. That's going to open up the door for the 72, and here comes the 72 of Escobar. So a hard hit there for Dennis, and you see some right side damage for him. So we've seen a lot, Baker, of some of these cars just drifting up into that wall and getting that right side, damaged and scraped. So almost like a Darlington stripe here tonight. A lot of these cars getting up into the fence.
Yeah, just it's tight on exit once you overdrive your rear tires. It's a little bit loose on you, but then it starts relying on those fronts, and when you start relying on those fronts, you can really see it start to drift up the wall, and that's what you're seeing from Adam Vinny and Steve Point right now. They had to drive hard off the rears for those couple laps, so they were battling 3 wide, and where they've had to go through the lap traffic here, Steve Point having a little bit tougher time navigating through the lap car of the 75 of Austin Householder. Got into him a couple times, but they were able to navigate it fine after that. Those 2 cars, the class of the field right now, Penn's falling off about another second. He's sitting at about 1.5 seconds, almost 2 seconds back from the leader at this time. AJ Rogers tracking down him. Kamba doing great, like we talked about before. Connor Smith making a good recovery. He's about a second back from Ryan Kamba on fresher tires. We'll see what he can do, and if that cliff really starts to fall off for Kamba. But still single file up here. Steve Point doing a great job getting clean air to the nose. Vinny doing a good job getting the exit. I think it's going to hurt his long run speed at the end, but he's doing a great job defending that position if he can keep that lineup.
Doing some audio work here real quick. Drivers in the, or guests in the chat here, so working on some race audio for you guys. Just let us know if that's a little bit better. Should be all good. It hasn't really changed from the beginning of the race, but nonetheless, 112 laps in of 150, and good time right now to maybe take a, not just a break, but a little crank it up action here at Richmond under the lights. We're going to crank it up here on lap number 113. Back here live on the PGR eSports Network at Richmond Raceway. 117 of 150. We are counting them down to the end of this one. Adam Vinny, currently your leader. He is checking out just a little bit on second place. Steve Point. Colin Penn also fading here in third place. Might need a caution to bring this field back together if they're going to have a shot here tonight, because the 11 car in practice and in queue and now in the race is currently the man to beat here at Richmond Raceway.
And now you got AJ Rogers within a second of Colin Penn, so that's where the battle's going to heat up, I think, here in the next few laps. Also, Connor Smith closing within a second of Ryan Kamba, so I think those are going to be your two positions to really look out for here. But good communication going on between the lap cars and the leaders and lap cars and other cars on the lead lap around to navigate each other cleanly. But Kamba trying to hold off Connor Smith here as he's tracking him down, but he's got lap traffic in front of him, and he could lose out on this top 5 spot if he just stays there too long.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. I'm going to look a little bit farther back here. Henry Hamby is going battle with right now Nolan Perry. They are side by side here into turn number 1. It looks like the 47 just a little bit faster underneath the 98. Man, great pass right here. He's going to get that drive off of turn number 2, stay side by side down the backstretch here. As the 47 going to make the pass here in front of the 98. Great move there by the 47. He's going to get into the 7th place position. We'll see if he can charge his way up. Connor Smith, the next one. He is charging here on Ryan Kamba. And 6, Kamba's going to hit the wall again. So some more damage there to the right side of the 204. And that 52 machine of Smith is coming in a hurry for 5th place.
And here comes AJ Rogers to Colin Penn's back bumper. Watch for the wide, high, and handsome turn down to try and cross over the bottom. You're going to see him drive almost into the wall. Colin Penn, AJ Rogers looking to the inside, but Colin Penn not having any of it. He's one of the more aggressive drivers, thinks better of it, goes up into the outside wall. 17 of AJ Rogers up into the third spot. Good run for him. Good recovery for him, tracking down with those tires. Can he do anything with his clean air to try and track down your front two? It's going to be hard, but oh man, the 16 big time into the outside wall. Also, Ryan Camba into the outside wall again. Connor Smith going to get around him. Now can Connor Smith track down the 4 machine, get around him easily, and then get to the 16?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, as these tires wear and we get closer and closer to the end of this one, drivers maybe getting a little bit tired from turning that steering wheel. Will that end up bringing out a caution? I know the 11 of Vinny does not want to see him. He's underneath the 19. That is a lap down car now as the 11. The last thing he wants to see is that yellow flag here tonight with 26 laps to go. He probably is going to set sail all the way to victory lane if he can keep it clean. But you never know. These drivers now, you see a lot of them getting up and into that outside wall. And you never know. One spin or anything like that brings out a yellow will change this race dramatically. So right now it is your 11 as the 24 now point underneath as well for, not for position, but underneath that lap car of the 19 of Dakota Dennis. So the 24 just fading a little bit. We'll have to see if he's got anything left in the tank for Vinny here tonight as they battle this lap traffic. We'll see if that might come into play here with 24 laps to go.
100% is going to come into play. 24 almost gets taken out by the lap traffic. Have a 31 almost on the outside wall with the 11 in front of him. It looks like Colin Penn goes down pit road. Looks like he may have had to take a little bit of fuel here, and he'll come back out on track. But Adam Vinny now stuck behind this lap traffic. Going to need to get around this 31 a little bit easier than what he needs to. 31 holds up high. 204 is going to have to come down pit road. That is Ryan Camba, so he's going to lose out of that top 5 position that he was in. But Stephen Point trying to get to the back bumper of Adam Vinny. It's just the lap traffic not working out for him, fading a little bit, and Adam Vinny setting sail on the field here as we approach 20 laps to go.
Yes, 22 laps to go right now. Vinny right here on to the backstretch at Richmond. You see the gap in your screen. Quite a big gap right now between first and second. We're going to have to go all the way back here to Connor Smith just exiting turn number 2 right now. So huge gap between second and third. But Smith now, guy that was very fast early on, all of a sudden here in the top 3 and could maybe give himself a shot here tonight with a late race yellow. Because if we have one, these guys are going to be hungry for some more action. Picking up for 4th between A.J. Rogers, Henry Hamby, and A.J. Rogers, Henry Hamby, and Nolan Perry a little bit farther back. So some good action here between the 47 and the 17. Some really hard racing as you got the 4 of Forstner in their way just a little bit right now. 20 laps to go on the board. Vinny right now still putting them down here at Richmond. 22.72 to second place's points 28.89 as Vinny right now the fastest car on the racetrack.
Yeah, just inside 20 laps here as we approach 18 laps to go in this race. The 25 holding up the 11 a little bit here. A couple other people coming down pit road with that fuel strategy that they weren't able to make it work. But 11 still being held up by the 25. It's not too much of a worry, though, because Steve Point's still falling off by a couple tenths a lap. It looks like he's just really overdriving the entry to the corner, and it's hurting his exit, and he's not getting the exit that he needs. He needs to back off that entry as the 11 car gets around the 25. The 25 going to go a lap down right there. He was fighting hard for the lucky dog. Wasn't able to make it work, though. That is Tyler Smith in the 25. But Adam Vinny is still setting sail on the field. Looking around for some battles here. Connor Smith, we're 3 wide with Colin Penn and Henry Hamby for that 3rd position. So Connor Smith going to lose out on the 3rd spot. Henry Hamby going to come to the point of the podium for that 3rd spot.
Yeah, some really good racing, and Hamby, guy we haven't talked too much about here tonight, all of a sudden in the driver's seat for a podium position and an interview possibly after this race. But here comes the 16. Probably he's got some fresher tires. We saw him come to pit road. He's going to go right up and around. So right now the race right there, 47 and the 52 for that last podium position, the 4, down a lap, so not a contender here right now with 15 laps to go. It's about a 2.4 second lead for your leader of Adam Vinny, setting sail here at Richmond as he has all night. 6 cars remain on your lead lap. See a handful of cars 1 lap down, a few 2 laps down, some 3 and 4. The rest are on pit lane. So that is where we stand as we inch closer and closer to the end of this race. And this is a long green flag run, so wouldn't surprise me one bit if we had a spinner here late to bring out a caution. We'll have to see, as some of these guys really wheeling it around here and trying to keep these Hoosier tires glued to this racetrack. But Adam Vinny right now, he's got a lot of lap traffic in front of him. We'll see if that changes anything here. But Stephen Point right now, quite a bit back from him right now. We'll see if he can make up any ground.
It points out to 3 seconds off the pace here, and he's dropping even more time. I wonder if his right rear is just completely cooked, or if he's trying to save a little bit of fuel. I don't think these guys are going to run out of fuel. They came at about lap 40, lap 50, and that would have got them to about lap 170 if my calculations were right. So I don't think we're really looking at any fuel strategy as Vinny setting sail in the field. He's 3 seconds ahead, make it 4 seconds ahead, second place as we take 10 laps to go. Looking at battles throughout the field to get people a lap down. Forrester, Dakota Dennis, not anywhere really close to each other. Next closest cars that are battling for position would be Dakota Dennis and AJ Rogers, and Ryan Kamba, who's in front of them. So that's a battle that's starting to heat up. Dakota Dennis going to give way to AJ Rogers. AJ Rogers will take over that 8th spot.
Yeah, Rogers doing a good job here in the 17 machine. He was very strong early in this race, had some trouble here. He is battling back here for a possible top 10 with just 8 laps to go now as Vinny crosses the line. 4.3 second lead. Third place, 12.6 seconds back. So 5 cars now remain on this lead lap. So even if we have a late race caution, it's only going to be a handful of cars with the shot at this man right here, Adam Vinny, as he is just probably taking a little bit easy right now. He's got to be a little bit uneasy watching what's going on in front of him with the 19 machine and the 18. 19 actually going to race him up the racetrack a little bit. Oh, he's going to have to cross over, man. Ooh, wow, the 19 all the way up into the marbles and into the wall just about. Close call there for your race leader, and we had all the action on that one. He's lucky to see and get through that. So, man, I'll tell you what, man, you never know. It is racing, and we've seen yellows here late, but right now it's just 6 laps to go. He's hanging on here for that victory. Could be the number 11, Adam Vinny.
Vinny to the inside of the 18 of Michael Everett. Steve Point falls back to 5 seconds, make it almost 6 seconds now. Henry Hanby is the next closest car. He's 7 seconds back of Steve Point. Don't think he's going to have time to track him down. Point, though, is battling lap traffic here who are on fresher tires. He's having to just give way to these guys. That is his 72 and that Reese's scheme, and the 31 of Kevin Spalding, but still in that second spot, 6 seconds back. Adam Vinny navigates through the lap traffic okay there. Had a couple close calls. Next car up the road is the 98 as they take the 5 laps to go.
Yeah, Adam Vinny right now, he's just keeping count of these laps. I'm sure his spotter's counting down the laps. 4 laps to go. It's going to be 3 laps to go when he hits the line. Vinny back to Point in second, Hamby third, Smith fourth. That is the only 4 drivers now on the lead lap, with Perry dropping a lap in the 95. So we are coming down to it. A great green flag run, possibly to end this one here tonight in the 204 League's Irishman's Pot of Gold 150. And a great race, some good driving here as the 11's going to go underneath the 52. He was a player earlier, but not anymore. 2 laps to go for the 11. And that's all he needs is to see that white flag, and he will be in victory lane tonight.
Out of turn 2, Adam Vinny's led more than half this race. Had a great battle with Steve Point and Colin Penn, who is now 3 laps down, unfortunately. But Adam Vinny going to set sail in this field, take the white flag.
White flag is out here at Richmond, live on the PGR eSports Network. The 11 of Adam Binney. He was your pole sitter tonight. He led the pace in practice. He's going to lead the field in pace tonight here in the feature race. Outside of turn number 4, it's all the 11 car, Adam Binney in victory lane here at Richmond.
Steep point. Looks like he drove the right rear off the car. And, he was able to make it all the way to that second place. He said he got a meatball there right at the end, but able to take second place home. And, I mean, that's what happened. I think he just drove the right rear off of it. Henry Hamby finished within a second back.
Yes, he did. You see Adam Vinny right there at the start finish line. Your race winner here tonight. Don't leave. We're going to bring up the final results here tonight. And the PGR eSports Network, don't leave it either. At 10:40 Eastern tonight, it'll be the PGR eSports Light Series live from Talladega Superspeedway in the new ARCA car. But right back here, it's the 11 Vinny, point the 24 and 47 of Hamby. You see them all here at Richmond Raceway, lining up here, as those will be your race winners. We're going to try to get an interview with all 3 here. Stand by for those, and we appreciate you all once again for watching here tonight. We're going to go grab those 3 winners up here in the booth, and we'll be right back here live from Richmond Raceway. Back live here at Richmond Raceway here for the 204 League 2025's Irishman's Pot of Gold 150. And I'll tell you what, great race here tonight. I believe only about 3 cautions. They all came in the first 50, 60 laps of this race, and we had a long green flag run to end it here tonight. So we have our results. Adam Vinny, your race winner here tonight. He was your pole sitter, led the pace in practice, led the pace here in the feature race here tonight, and we have him up here in the booth. Adam Vinny, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are we doing?
Well, we are doing good, but not as good as you are tonight's race winner here in the 204 League. Tell us about your race here tonight. I'll tell you what, you were bad fast from the drop of the green flag, but a little bit of adversity. You had a couple guys stay out on the racetrack during a round of pit stops, so you lost a little bit of track position, but you battled hard there to get back to the lead, and you had to hold off a ferocious run there from Steve Point. Walk us through it.
Yeah, I saw, Steven was real fast in my rear view. Definitely was noticing him staying with me. I didn't want him to get too close. But with the two guys that stayed out with no tires, I had to give a little more than what I wanted with my tires. But as long as I stayed smooth, try to conserve as much, but still stay with the leaders. Um, that's all I could ask for. The car was decent. On cold tires, it was pretty wicked loose. So you're really struggling with the throttle control. But luckily, I was able to figure it out and get the power down and get around them and take off from there.
Yeah, and Adam, we come over from a super speedway money racing community, so not often we are calling a short track, but nonetheless, it was a great experience for us to be up here in this tower watching some of you guys do some driving here tonight, and a great run from you here tonight at Richmond. Is this your, talk us through, is this your, your scope here on iRacing late model stocks? Do you like diving into some other stuff? Tell the audience here what Adam likes to do here on iRacing.
Put me behind the wheel and I'll race it. I'm pretty universal. I do run a lot of late model stocks. Past few seasons I have, so I grown accustomed to these. I love the trucks. Probably the most fun to drive is the trucks, but I run dirt, off-road, road racing. It doesn't matter. Put me behind the wheel and I'll run it for you.
Well, hey, you got the job done here tonight, race winner Adam Vinny. Before we let you go, is there anyone you want to thank and or shout out?
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys. PGR eSports, the 204 League for putting this on. Love those guys. No Coast Customs, ZMAX, Beard Wisconsin, Small Batch Beard Oils and Balms, Next Level Litigation Support, Fridge Brick Time, Wabam, Puma, my parents, my girlfriend, my kids. My oldest daughter came over to make sure the baby won't wake up, so I was able to do this. Special thanks to her. But yeah, just everybody that tuned in, supported this channel. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate it so much. And I appreciate everybody out on the track with the clean driving. Racing me well. So hats off. Much respect. Thank you.
Well, that was your race winner tonight. He led the field to the green, and he's going to lead the field to the checkered flag. All Adam Vinny tonight here at Richmond Raceway. A great drive for him and an awesome race here on the PGR eSports Network. We want to thank everyone at the 204 Racing League and helping put on this Irishman's Pot of Gold 150. A great race, some short track racing under the lights here at Richmond Raceway. Big thanks to everyone in the chat as well tonight. We appreciate all of the love you give PGR eSports on a nightly basis. We're going to head over to the PGR eSports side for some super speedway racing in the ARCA Series car tonight for the PGR Light Series on a Monday night, late Monday night at 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time. My broadcast partner had a scram. His name was Matthew Baker. I was your host tonight, Michael Triscaro. We will see you all soon here live on the PGR eSports Network.